Hello, and welcome again to the Empowered Woman channel. I am your host, Pastor Dapoli PD, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's session. I am a John Maxwell team coach. I am also the author of Thinking Out Loud books. The books are devotionals. I actually have one of them here today, and I'm going to be sharing from this book today, Thinking Out Loud by Dapoli PD. I would want to share today, I want to start today by sharing on the word empower. The word empowered. This is the Empowered Woman channel. And I've had people ask me, what does it mean to be empowered? You keep talking about us stepping into, the empowerment that God has given us. But what does it mean to be empowered? So I'm going to start today by talking about the word empower. M and power. I'll start with the word power. Power is the ability to do something. And there's so many things that we have the ability to do as women. If you go into a community of women, you would not lack anything. If there's any skill you're looking for, you will find it there. Because we are enabled to do different kinds of things. So we have that power, the ability to do something, the ability to do different things. Now, what about the word M, EM, the prefix to the word power? M, power. The prefix is M, EM. The main word is power. So the root word for empower is power, and then the prefix M. But what does that prefix stand for? It means to put in or into. So when we talk about the empowered woman, what we are saying is that there is in this woman the ability to do certain things that other species cannot do. Power. God is the one who has empowered us. So when we talk about empowerment, we're talking about God having empowered us, having put into us as women the ability to do certain things. Now, the problem we run into as women is that, first of all, we don't recognize that we have been endued or blessed or imbued with some things that are peculiar to us as women. Take, for example, the ability to deliver a child. That is something that God has given us as women. Men cannot birth, they cannot get pregnant, they cannot birth a child. That is something that is peculiar to women, but it's God Himself that put it in there. So when we talk of the empowered woman, we're talking about the woman that has been equipped by God with special abilities to do certain things. So on this channel, when we're talking about stepping into your empowerment, what we're saying in essence is step into your God-given abilities. The second problem we run into as women is that we often do not know what God has called us to do. We struggle with, I'm weak. We listen to what other people say about us, about how weak we are, about we're the weaker vessel, so many things we're not able to do. And that has led to things like women's leap, things like, what a man can do, a woman can do better. I am not a preacher of that, because I believe that everybody has a role. The man has his role, the woman has her role. So in each of our roles, the man is empowered to do different things than women are. In each of our roles, we must excel. But what we are finding is that as women, we are not excelling. Let's go back to the story of creation. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, I'm reading from my devotional. I'm thinking out loud, and I'm reading from day 6. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. So when that word says comparable, it says can be likened to him, but it's different. You can compare. So we are the same species, but we're different, right? But God looked at the man and said, this man is incomplete. And in the devotional, I said, it is interesting to know that God did not rest until he was done with creation, the last of which was the woman. On day 7, I talk about God not resting until he was done with creation. And so if you read Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 to 2, it says, thus the heavens and the earth, and all the host of them were finished. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. Now, the man and the woman were created on the sixth day. Excuse me. He created man and woman on day 6 and then rested on the seventh day. Now, it is interesting again, that he did not rest until he was done with creation. The last person, the last piece of creation, the last piece of the puzzle was the woman. And that tells me something. That tells me that this woman was very important in the scheme of things. But unfortunately, as women, we do not recognize that we are important in the scheme of things. When Michelle and I were talking in our last recording, we talked about Harriet Beecher Stowe. She said that woman is the architect of society. Without the woman, the man could not himself have conceived and born children. We birthed the children. God inherently knew that Adam needed help, and he knew that he could not rest until he filled the vacuum in Adam's life. He then went back to work. That was when he put Adam to sleep for the last time, to make the woman who I consider to be the crowning glory of God's work. If you as a woman are the crowning glory of God's work, and if he has put into you skills and abilities to be the woman that he has called you to be, what are you waiting for? Why are you not walking in that empowerment? What are some of the things that are hindering you? If you want to share with me, you can email me at dlthinkingoutloud.com, and I would come on this channel and respond to some of those things. Some of us say it's our husband, some of us say it's our children, but yet God knew you were going to have that husband. He knew you were going to have that children. But in spite of those things, he wants you to be who he has called you to be. You need to find out your purpose. You are here for a reason. You are here to fulfill a specific role. Don't cheat the world of that role. What did you bring with you to earth when you were coming? Whatever you brought, nobody else has it. It is peculiar to you. That's why no 5 fingers are the same. No eyeballs are the same. No pupils are the same. No 2 noses are the same, because you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He made you specifically to be you, not to be anyone else. That is why for women who compare themselves with others, you are doing yourself a disservice, because God made you specifically for a purpose. What you need to do is find out what that purpose is. And as you find that purpose, you begin to walk in it. My encouragement to you in this short video today is to be who God has called you to be. Step into that role. Understand that you are special. Understand that God made you for a purpose, and begin to walk in that purpose. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to you watching me again on my next video very soon. Please subscribe to my channel. You can also listen to my podcast on Anchor, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. Thank you again, and God bless you.